I want to show you guys my hammock suspension that I came up with. That's super ultra lightweight, very simple, and it's just two pieces. So it's this doubled up cord that has a bunch of knots in it and a strap. And this can be any strap. This is a polyester strap from like a come along like tie down thing from my truck that I just cut off. But you could get like Kevlar, dyneema, or like any kind of like tree hugger type strap. This can be like super lightweight, and you just need enough to go around the tree. And then this part connects to the hammock. So I'll show you how it connects first. So I ordered this hammock with just loops on the end. Right now I got it tied up with some cheap heavy adjustable hammock straps, but I'm going to attach my homemade suspension on here. So I'm just going to do, I forget what this is called. This is not the best way to join two loops together, but the other way, although possible, would make it a little bit harder to take off because you'd have to pass the whole hammock body through this loop and this loop also through this loop, which can be done. It just, if I need to take this off for any reason, this just makes it easier. So okay, so that's it. It's connected to the loop of my hammock here, and that's going to stay there. And then I'll show you how to set this up on the other side here. So pretend this is a tree and you've got your strap around the tree and it comes together here. And say this is the ends of the strap, right? And maybe you double it up, go around a few times if it's a shorter tree or whatever. I'm going to untie this. Okay, so then once it's passed through the loops, you can adjust it by pulling or loosening, and when you got it where you want it, you come back here. So you pass this end between the ropes between two of the knots, come back over, and you do a real simple half hitch. I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's a little bit harder. Let me see. Real simple, slippery half hitch. It's important you make a slippery half hitch because this will tighten up quite a bit when you get in the hammock, but it won't slip. And that's because this knot is only actually seeing half the weight because of basically the pulley system that you set up like that. And then for a little bit of security, you could do like another half hitch, but that'll definitely hold from my testing. Now, one thing to keep a lookout for here is you don't want any knots in your loop where you made the slippery half hitch, because you want to be able to pull this through, and that knot is going to be tight, and it's going to be tough if there's a knot that you got to pull through there. The only way to get that undone is you're going to have to use like a marlin spike or a tent peg or something to loosen the knot. It's not too bad, but just something to be aware of. Another thing you might do is maybe like a figure 8 hitch, kind of like the way the Hennessy hammocks instructions are, where you just basically make some figure 8s, loop this around, not quite as quick, but it's not going to bind on you. It's not going to lock up, definitely won't lock up like like just the half hitch will. And then you can just put a slippery half hitch here for security, tie it off. And then again, to adjust it, you can just undo this, and then you can pull this up, and if you want it tighter, go to the next knot. If you want it looser, go back down a knot. And this length here between the knots, it looks far, but remember you're only dropping it about half that distance because of the advantage of this going down there and then coming back. So this is actually only adjusting the hammock about this distance each time. And here's how I made the straps. So for the tree hugger part, the strap part, I just cut this from an old ratchet strap. I believe this is rated at like 500 pounds, but I think that's conservative. Anyway, it feels like it should be fine, so I think it's going to be fine. The dyneema cord is SK75, and I had a bunch of this stuff. This is only 2.2 millimeters, and it's rated at 400 kilograms, so like around 900 pounds. The Hennessy hammock that I originally bought had cords for suspension that were rated at 1,200 pounds, so that just tells me that this is probably not strong enough as a single ply, but if you double it up, it should be okay, even with knots in it. Doubled up, I mean, of course, you're going to have about 1,800 pounds, and then you're going to have to derate it for some of the knots that you put in there, which is could decrease the strength by 70% or by 30%, so you're only left with about 70% strength rating for something like a figure 8 knot, which is what we're going to use. Anyway, so I cut a section that's 22 feet long so I can double it up, and it'll be a little less than 11 feet once I splice it together. And I'll show you how to do that. So here's the splicing tool that I made. It's just a bent over wire, and I carved a little handle for it just so I'd have something to hold on to, and dyed it pink with some, it's kind of purplish I guess, with some berries, just so that I could remember not to throw this out, or so that someone that sees it realizes it's not junk. Try not to touch them with that hand. Okay, grab the whole things. You're gonna squish them, but not with this hand, okay? Oh, hold the metal part. There you go, and now squish the berries on there.
That's a good idea.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Berries to dye.
Alright, so we take our tool, we want to go right through the rope, so kind of just go right through the center of it here, bunch it up to get it to go through, and now you want to hook the other rope somewhere towards the end like that, and we're going to pull it through. Even them up here, and then you want to go through this one same way.
Dad, I got something for you.
You got something for me?
In my basket. Rainwater. Rainwater.
Rainwater? Oh, I just realized I did this backwards. Alright, hold on.
What are you using my rope for?
That's not your rope. Hey, give me that back. This is one of those things where you do it on camera and you always mess it up. Alright, so go through. Now I want to go this way.
The grass is
Okay, so now you got what looks like this, right? And now the idea is you want to tuck this on the inside of this rope and this on the inside of this rope. So what you do is insert your tool far enough up. You want to insert it past where, is this even in focus? You want to insert it past where that rope is, so like right about up here.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. Dad, I had an idea I could drive while I was looking backwards.
Yeah, you shouldn't drive looking backwards, buddy.
But then it moved it before I didn't want to move. Then I had no way to stop it. And no way to drive it. But I could drive. I was going to drive, but then I started moving.
Okay, now come out like somewhere like there. Come on. Okay, now you pull it in. Oops, no, not like. Well, it doesn't matter if you come all the way through because you gotta pull that out anyway. But once you tighten it, disappear inside, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side the same way. Okay, so. Okay, you can taper these ends here. I don't find it really that necessary, but you can taper it to have a nicer finish in here. Okay, so now that is super strong. It's not going to go anywhere. But just to make sure, what we're going to do is we're going to, here's the end of our splice. You can kind of see that bulge right there. Just go down a little bit longer, and here or so. I'm going to tie a figure 8, like right about here. If you don't know how to tie a figure 8 knot, just there's a lot of good knot animations and stuff you can find online. That's not a figure. Is that a figure 8? Yeah, that's a figure 8. Okay. All right. That's one end of our cord. And now we're just going to go down, I don't know, 5 inches or so. You know, about that much. And just make another figure 8. For this much adjustment, right? So if going from this knot to the next one, because it's doubled over like that, you're really only changing the overall length to the hammock by this much, half as much. So these knots don't have to be very close together. Alright, so I hope that was helpful. And I'd like to know what you guys think. If you have any comments, if you've seen something similar to this, or if you have other ideas that can be improved on this, I'm really interested. This was really born out of necessity because I just I'm going on a trip like tomorrow and I have no suspension, so I just threw this together. But so far it's better than most of what I've seen online. I don't really want to pay for anything. I haven't seen anything that, like, yeah. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.